All right, so we're here with the G87 M2. We're gonna start fixing the car. First steps are wheel spacers and suspension, because the wheel gap is horrible and so is the wheel fitment. Part one of the video, we're gonna walk you through the different spacer choices and options that we recommend. We're gonna show you like a standard setup that we would go with, or we're gonna show you a more aggressive setup for people that really want that super flush fitment. Then we're gonna take you through lowering the car, choosing the ride height in comparison with the spacers, and show you what springs and spacers do to the car and how it transforms. So let's dive into the spacer profile now. A couple years back, we partnered up with Max Schnell on the spacers. We have a lot of spacer options on the website for the G80, and we dialed in the best spacer kit for the G80. So we're again gonna partner up with Max Schnell on the spacers and dial in for the M2, and we're gonna put a couple options on the website. So make sure you check precisionsport.com. We'll have everything linked down below in the description. We have 4 different pair of spacers on the car. This is what we think is gonna be the best fitment standard for people that are staying with the stock suspension and everything. So this is a 15 in the rear, 15 millimeter, and a 12 millimeter in the front.
This is typical kind of G80, G8X spacer fitment. Tire sits nice and flush to the fender, especially for a stock wheel, which a lot of people are installing spacers on stock wheels. That's what this is for. The aesthetic of it definitely changes the whole outlook of the vehicle. Before, the tires just kind of sunk in. The 12s in the front and the 15s on the rear, it kind of makes more of a statement.
I mean, it makes it look like it should have looked from BMW, and that's kind of what,
yes.
You know, we're correcting it, but we're not trying to go crazy. They do really look sunk in from the factory, which I'm sure you guys saw with the other shots. Let's go to the other side, where we actually went more aggressive with the spacers to kind of show the comparison of it. This has more of like an aftermarket look or a poke kind of look. And this side is an 18 millimeter in the rear,
yep,
and a 15 millimeter
in the front.
And
this right here, for some people, it is the look that they're going for. For a OEM look, this is a little more aggressive. Now this right here might be perfect for whenever the car is lowered, just due to the suspension travel and everything. The tire might actually move up into the fender a little bit, and it might look the same as the other side. But again, we don't know what that looks like right now. It's factory ride height. It is a little more aggressive, but it's not over the top.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the max sizes that should go on this car. I think if we get into 20 millimeter, 25 millimeter, it's gonna look like the wheels are 13 inches wide. It's not gonna work.
One thing to note is that BMW did fix the rubbing issue on the front fender liners. With the M3 and M4, as soon as you install spacers, even 12s and 15s, they do rub the inner fender liner. We just did the test with it and they do not rub. Kudos to BMW on fixing that and acknowledging that.
The next step for us now is we're gonna get the AST kit on the car. We're gonna dial in the ride height and get rid of all of this crazy wheel gap that's here. And then we'll redial in the spacers. Take the spacers off.
Yep,
we'll put on, you know, what we think is gonna work with the car lowered. So let's dive into the install. All right, so Adam is just about halfway done with the ALS kit, and I wanted to take the opportunity to kind of show what a sleeve kit is, what an ALS kit is, and how it installs. So this is a stock front damper for the car, and this is the stock lower perch. So at the top is the rubber mount that's factory on every BMW. So what happens is we disassemble it, and then we press. This is pressed onto the stock damper here. We unpress this, the bottom perch, which is a non-adjustable perch. It's where the stock spring sits. And then the adjustable perch, the AST one, presses on in its place, and it has a couple set screws here. It's actually clocked the same as that. So we actually mark the shocks, we mark where it's clocked so it matches, and then this is set screwed on, and now this is an adjustable perch. We can run the AST springs, so it goes on just like factory, but it makes it adjustable. So you retain the stock damper, you retain the ESC or the EDC, now you have adjustable springs. So he's gonna finish this up, and then we're gonna show you guys what it looks like on the ground with the spacers, and we'll go from there. All right, so now the car's lowered on the ALS suspension from AST. So basically this is the optimal setup, 15 millimeter in the front, 18 millimeter in the rear with the adjustable lowering spring kit. We think that's gonna be the best. Before, right, the 12 and 15s were the best for stock.
The way that the 12s and 15s look on stock suspension is what the 15s and 18s look like with the ALS kit. So we'll have a combo package with the 15-18 with the ALS kit and the 12s and 15s at a stock height. It doesn't look bad with 12s and 15s, but it's not the optimal look that you're trying to go for if you were to lower the car.
Just did about 30-mile test drive with everything on the car to let the springs settle, and there's absolutely no rubbing. So it's a pleasant surprise from when we came out of the G80, and every time I would reverse or take kind of a sharp turn at full lock, we had that rub. It's not present on this chassis, which is super cool. So next we're gonna throw on some aftermarket wheels and change the setup again and show you guys how that works, and we'll dial that in with the adjustable springs. So let's dive into that now. So here we are, guys. This is now with Titan7 TS5s. These are 20 inches all around, 20 by 10 in the front, 20 by 11 in the rear. These are our demo set for our G80 that we ran right in the beginning when we were doing some development with Titan7. So we knew they would probably work, but we did verify that they don't rub with 20s in the front at all, even with the AST ALS kit. These are also powder coated a specific lighter silver color that I chose to kind of match with the Zanzibar blue. We're gonna show you guys later on some finishes from Titan7, like Wicked Black and some other off-the-shelf choices from them. You guys can order straight from our website. So that pretty much sums up phase one for us on this vehicle. We wanted to fix the fitment. We wanted to get some wheels on it and have a better stance, better look overall. And I think a lot of people are realizing that the new M2 design looks amazing, especially with aftermarket mods. So we have a lot of stuff in the future that we're working on. I have a whole shelf of parts for this car, from Eventuri to CSF to Keys Motorsport. We also have some Motons coming for this. So stay tuned in future videos. We're gonna put 4 or 5 videos together on the build of this and show you guys what the best choices are, why we chose those brands, the partners that we work with, and why. So stay tuned. We'll see you next time.